Hello. Some of you have asked lately about our VowelsRUs Reloaded program, and it's not that difficult. It's pretty simple as long as you understand what is parameter passing and how to turn global variables into local variables. The goal of this activity, more than just making it complex for you to develop a program, is to understand the importance of using local variables sometimes instead of global data. Global data is very sensitive and can change across your program, and sometimes you don't want to do that. It's very easy to overwrite those variables. Okay, so in our case, I'm going to show you right now. I'm showing you my program, one of the VowelsRUs. It's a very simple VowelsRUs program. Most of you must have it pretty much the same, where you have all the variables or the instance variables needed for importing the file, like file input stream, the in file, the in reader, and the reader. What I really want you to do is to become these global variables, turn them into local variables, okay? Where you have the string tokenizer, when you have the line, the word, the suffix, the plural, the new word, all those variables that are required for analyzing the word, for getting the word, for separating the word. Those are the ones that should be used in the different methods and should have parameter passing. Okay, the methods not only need to have some of them can be void, okay, declared as void, where you don't return anything, or in this case, like analyze word, you should have parameter passing. This is called parameter passing, where these are called the formal variables, okay, and the local variables are going to be the ones that we put when we use the actual method. So, in other words, you might want to put this also into the init method and just eliminate absolutely everything from our program, okay? So, what we're going to do is that I'm going to show you both ways. You don't have to put this into one of the methods, because those global variables are used once, and that's it. Basically, the reader is just for reading information, okay, and not changing into multiple files. So you might want to do this, okay, but you can also change it. So basically, let's comment this. Okay, I'm going to comment these variables, and now I need to figure a way how to put all these variables into my programs. Now that I have my main, where I only have the init file, okay, I'm going to go over here, the init file, the get data, I'm going to get the data, and inside the get data, I'm going to call the analyze word. So I'm going to get the data, analyze the word, display the plural and the suffix, and then go back again in the loop and continue to get data until I finish absolutely everything. Okay? So basically, that's what we need. I'm using the reader. So the reader is it's a global variable, so I can use it in the init file. But I can also do this. I can grab all these variables. I can declare them here, but here I'm going to have a problem, because I'm going to need this reader. This reader is going to be used by the get data. So basically, I can change how the method works. Now I need to return something, and I need to return this, the reader, and the reader is actually a buffered reader. So this is what I'm going to return after I finish this method. Okay, so it says that buffered reader init file, when he finishes this method, okay, I will actually return the reader. Okay, return the reader, and I will init file, since it returns something, I would actually need a buffered reader retrieving this information after I use the init file. So basically, that's what I'm going to do after I do all my changes. Okay. So I need to return and then go back and change it. Okay. Now the in file, since it's declared inside this in file, should also, if I'm going to close it at the end of my I'm gonna have to return it also. Okay, so I have to return the reader, and I'm gonna decide that this in file goes as a global. Some of them really need to become global variables if you for making it, for organizing it. Okay, so that's basically it, and we're going to continue working with our methods. Okay, we're back, and what we need to do right now is change the way we declare these variables. Now that they're not global and they're local, we don't have to make them private static. Okay, and just be used inside this method. Okay, now I use my reader. After I have my reader here, I can go and change the get data, because the get data will require the reader. Okay, so I have to go to my get data method, and now the reader has an error, a syntax error, because the reader is not available anymore to this method. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to require a formal variable for this method called a buffered reader. Okay, because I'm going to need it. This is the parameter I'm going to pass. So when I call the get data, I'm sending the reader. I'm using exactly the same word, reader, because what I'm doing is that I'm just passing parameters. I'm not overriding any of those variables. So I can use the same word, actually. Now I have an error on my get data because it says that this method requires a parameter. So the parameter for get data is a buffered reader. So I'm going to put this here, reader, and now I'm passing this parameter to this method. Okay, so basically that's the only job you have to do in your assignment. It's just passing the parameters and making all these variables that we once had as global variables into each of the methods. Okay, I will leave the job to you to work on your analyzing the word and getting the suffix, and the most important thing is that you actually pass the parameter. Make sure you have the correct type, and your formal and actual parameters are exactly the same type. Okay, you have to be careful with that. That's mostly what you have to do. Okay, so in analyze word, you have to make sure that your word and your suffix is passing, and so on and so forth. So good luck, and I hope this very quick video tutorial helps in your assignment about parameter passing and local variables and global variables. Okay.